Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Jim Coppinger with ZenTech Consultants, and today we're going to talk about Bricscad BIM. In particular, we're going to be talking about 2D drafting and 3D BIM all in one single file. So appreciate you guys taking the time to join us for today's presentation. Just a couple of quick things. We are tight on time, so we're going to try and move pretty quickly through this. So with that in mind, while I welcome questions, and I encourage you guys, if you look, you have both a chat box and a questions box. You can type your questions as we go along, and I've allotted a couple of minutes at the end to answer those questions, but I'm not going to stop to answer those in real time today. And if perchance there are questions that I can't get to at the end, I promise I will email you and let you know. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and get into today's presentation. All right. So for those of you who haven't worked with us before, we're ZenTech Consultants, and we are specialists in AEC and manufacturing, particularly the building product manufacturing space. And we're here to help you guys purchase, implement, develop, customize all of your software, whatever it might be. Chances are, whatever your technology needs are, from workflow through document management and all your CAD and design software, we can help. So we hope you guys will hit our website and see all the different tools we offer. So today we're talking about Bricscad, and in particular the upgrade to Bricscad BIM. All right, so let's start with the idea of what is Bricscad. All right, so Bricscad is at its base, it's a CAD system, right? And its underlying core is it's built on a 2D structure, right? Which may sound a little bit out of date, but at the end of the day, that's where most of us do the bulk of our work. Right? And one of the things that we hear time and time again here at ZenTech is that a lot of the folks out there are very frustrated with some of the big leaders, and you know who I mean, in the CAD industry, and the fact that they have not made any kind of decent or rational upgrade to the 2D systems that we use 90% of the time in years. Right? And Bricscad is an alternative to that, where they really have done an amazing job of integrating some really powerful tools, making use of new cutting edge computer functionality, and even integrating AI directly into your 2D CAD system. Right? So the other thing that is really important to understand about Bricscad and all of its versions, whether it's BIM or sheet metal or shape or communicator, all of its different upgrade paths. Bricscad is identical in almost every single way to the AutoCAD system that you guys have been using for years. In other words, it works in the native DWG format. You can open up any drawing file without having to do any kind of a conversion back and forth from Bricscad to AutoCAD. It's bi-directional. You can open and work in AutoCAD. AutoCAD people can open what you've done in Bricscad, and all of the tools, commands, customization, Lisp utilities, macros, layer sets, all of the things that you spent decades putting together in your current system, it all works exactly the same way in Bricscad. Literally, you can have someone up and running in these systems inside of 20 minutes. Just open a drawing file and go to work. The tools, the commands, even the one-letter macros, right, at the keyboard, all exactly the same. And the other benefit to dealing with Bricscad is that it's also a perpetual license-based system, which means you're not paying unless you want to. You don't have to pay every single year for the exact same thing, whether it's a good upgrade or not. Okay, you can buy it, keep it, and use the same version for 10 years if that's what you want to do. Okay, so what we're really talking about here today, right, is Bricscad BIM, right? The one tool to rule them all. Yes, and I'm a bit of a dork, so I apologize for the Lord of the Rings reference. So the idea here is that we're talking about the ability to use a single fully functional 3D modeling and BIM system that will integrate with your 2D construction documents that most of us work in, right? Rather than having to buy a 2D system and then have to go to a third-party system like Revit and learn it from the ground up and do full 3D modeling, and then trying to extract, 2D construction documents out of the 3D model and on and on. Right? There's a lot of expense involved in that. There's a lot of training. There's a lot of work and time and investment that has to go into that. Let's be very honest, in a lot of instances on small and medium-sized projects, which probably accounts for 80% of what most of us do. Right? We all like those, once or twice a year mega projects. Those are awesome, but most of our work comes from small, medium-sized projects. And dealing with that extra additional software that's really expensive to begin with, but it's a whole other set of use that we have to learn, right? Wouldn't it be nice that we could have one software, one file, right? One single DWG file where I can do the 2D drafting, I can do the layout, I can create my construction documents and model space and paper space and everything we've done for decades. And then just in that same drawing at the same time, be able to do all the 3D and BIM implementation work that I need only when I need it, rather than isolating it into two completely separate silos. And that's what we can do here with Bricscad BIM. And the thing I want to stress here is that Bricscad BIM is not a separate package. It's just an upgrade. It's an add-on to the base Bricscad system, right? That you keep working in the same file, same platform, same tools, same everything. It's just an upgrade. It gives you more functionality in that same system. So you're not buying two different packages here, right? And the other thing I want to point out is when you get to the Bricscad BIM level, it also gives you the ability, right, to actually import and export Revit data. So if you do need to work with people who are still, other architects and designers and, contractors who are working in Revit, you'll have that functionality available to you through Bricscad as well. Okay, so that's the real important aspects of this. Okay, so with that, we're going to go over, we're going to do a little bit of a brief demo here. And I'm going to focus on just, again, I'm not getting into a lot of detail today, it's just a demo, but I want to show you guys the basic concept of how you can work in a 2D drawing. And using Bricscad BIM, be able to very quickly add in, manipulate, change, and do the basic three-dimensional drafting using those same sets of tools within the exact same file, which is something that I don't think anybody else out there on the market really offers other than Bricscad BIM. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to jump over. I've got Bricscad open here, right? And I've got the BIM tool set loaded. Right, so I'm all set to go. I'm working on version 20. So you can see here that what I have is just a basic two-dimensional floor plan. Right, there's nothing fancy about it. It's just a 2D layout, and you can see I can actually go up here to our look at widget, which is a real cool aspect of BIM, where I can very easily just kind of go up here and click on items. And I can see them in different angles, right? And then I can rotate and twist them up and down and spin them around. And you can see that this is really just a flat two-dimensional floor plan. Right, nothing going on. I've got no 3D of any kind built in here. It's all just 2D work that I have going on, right? Nothing in particular to write home about. Okay, so the idea then is that we've got this typical layout, typical 2D tools, and you guys can just even see up here looking right at the base structure here. All right, it looks very much and acts very much like AutoCAD, and all your basic AutoCAD commands, copy, move, paste, lines, all your 2D work is all here and available to you. But what we can do here that we can't do in a lot of other systems is we can take and we can work within this exact same file, okay, to be able to go in and extrapolate our three-dimensional objects, right? By using some basic commands like extrude, right? I can go in here and you see that when I go inside my walls, see how it actually highlights that wall space? So if I want to take that wall, this little wall condition right here, and it goes to where there are closed off areas, right? And I can just click in there, right? And then I can extrude, and you see I can just pull it up here with Bricscad, and you see I can now go in and I can just take the 2D layout that I already have in place, and I can just pull it up, and you see I've got that, right now it says 8'5" in the middle of the wall there. I can just go in and I can just type 10 feet. I need 10-foot high walls. And there you go. Just like that, I was able to just go ahead, right? And, oops, sorry, I hit the wrong button there. I was able to just go ahead and take my 2D layout without any conversion, any problems, any concerns, right, and convert it to an actual 3D model, right? And I can easily do that by isolating layers and working with standard wall controls, right? And what's really important about this, and where it starts to become really different from dealing in the other, big name BIM systems where you kind of have to start from scratch, develop that 3D model, and then extract your drawings out, we can actually use these tools here inside of the Bricscad BIM setup in exactly the same way we would do any drafted object, right? So for example, you see my current layer here is 3D walls. I just have a layer called 3D walls, right? When I go in, I'm like, look, I just need to get the walls out of my way. There you go. The walls are there. The walls are an item. They're just a separately drawn item within my document. I'm still, so I can toggle just by, setting 3D walls, 3D doors, setting a different number of 3D layers. I can easily just go in and isolate what I want to work with at any given time. Okay, so if I'm in here and I'm doing 3D design and layout, and I'm like, oh wait, we got to go back to the plan and make some some general setups, not a problem, right? I just go back into my widget here, click on the top, go back to my plan view, make whatever changes and adjustments I need to make to the construction document, right? And then I just go back to, I'll go to this view down here, right? I'll go back to that, and I can just go back in and say, okay, ready to go back to work on those 3D walls. Here they are, okay? And I can just go in, and then, on the fly, I can rotate and pivot and, do all the good 3D stuff that we all like to do here, okay? So that's the idea, right? That we can go in and we can modify those. So that's a definite plus, right? You can't really do that with most of the other CAD systems out there, right? So, sorry, I'm just kind of panning over here trying to get something, useful for us. Right? And we can also go back, and it's a very easy thing with these to be able to go in and edit these after the fact. So you see I can go up here to the top of the wall, and I can just select that. And then what I can do is I can use what we call the push-pull tool. So you see right here, I can go in and I can adjust the wall heights up and down, okay? I can do the same thing here with the wall width. If I take that wall and use the push-pull tool, see I can extend the wall out, make it thicker, wider, right? I can go to any of the edges here, right? So if I wanted to extend, this wall needed to extend all the way down, I can just select that wall, right? Oops, sorry, I just need to get in there a little bit, right? Select that, same thing, grab the push-pull tool and bring it out, okay? It works very, very nicely. Now, to kind of go along with that, the other thing that I can do here, right, just to kind of show you, I'm going to go up to this wall up here. Just again, I'm kind of using the 2D here as my layout. The other options that I have, right, I'm just going to collapse my little side panel there, is that I can go in, and there are other tools in here such as I can go in and I can draw planar walls, okay? So I can actually go in here and I can draw planar walls, different modeling solids. I've got quick draws. But the great thing here is that I can go in with this setup and I can adjust the width, okay? And I can go in and say, look, the width of the wall here, and I just turn on my OSNAP, is from there to there. See, I'm using standard AutoCAD commands. Now I can also set the justification. I can do it along the center line of the wall, the left side, or the right side, right? So let's set it for the right side of the wall. I think the right side should work here. So I'm going to do on the right side. Nope, I should have set my justification. So I'm going to do that again. Set it for the left side. My bad. Set my justification to the left. Okay. Now you see I'm drawing along the left side of the wall. You see I can just go corner to corner, right? And then I can go in and I can use my standard, object snaps or what we call E-snaps here inside of Bricscad. I can go perpendicular to this wall. Then you see I'm just snapping to the outer side of the wall, and you see that my wall width is set. And then when I'm done, I can just go right back to here. Right, oops, and I hit enter one too many times, so I didn't get my wall height, but that's okay, because now I can go in and I can shift select my walls, right? I can even go in here using my quick tools, right? I can select similar objects, right? All of the faces, all of the, the aligned faces here. So you see it gets them all, right? And then I can just go in with that and I can push pull, and now you see I can pull all of those walls up just like that. So if I want to go ahead and make that, 12 foot. Right? Oh, I put 12 inches instead of 12 foot, but you get the idea, right? So I can easily go in and modify those, or I can take an individual wall right here, right? And I can just push and pull that one wall up. Let's bring that up to, an additional 10 feet, okay? So you see I can easily go in and start to adjust and modify these walls that are cutting right onto my plan with no problem, using my plan views as my design layouts, and they can all be isolated on their individual layers. Now, one of the other things that's really nice is that you can do exactly what I said earlier. If you do want to go in and you're going to be doing just a 3D model, a 3D design from scratch, not a problem. Bricscad BIM has this great idea of quick draw, which allows you to go in and very, very quickly and easily see. It kind of gives you just a base layout where you can go in here and you see I can adjust a base pad or a room. So if I'm doing one area, I can do, if I'm doing a gymnasium or a warehouse, you see I can just tab using the tab key from side to side. So if I want this to be 65 feet on this side, and I'm going to make it, 115 feet on this side. That sets my pad for me, right? And you see it's giving me some outer building structures, and I could have set the walls, right, as I needed to for depths, and I'm just going to tilt this a little bit, right? Because now you see that what I can do is I can go to each corner and I can start to continue out, right, the interface. So you kind of see right here where I've got this 16 feet 2 on each side. I can adjust those. See, I can tab to where my next wall is going to be, right? So I can bring this wall out to 20 feet, right, by 20 feet, and then when I hit enter, okay, that's where it starts for me, my next wall. So you say I started from that corner 20 feet over, right? Now I can actually go in and I can draw again using the tab keys, right? With this quick draw structure, right? So if I need a room that's, 35 feet by, 18 feet, there it is, okay? And again, it's using my standard 10-foot or whatever my standard height is. I forget what I have it set for right now, right? But same thing here. I can go to this wall and you see how it's going to connect from here to here. And again, I can just go in and I can set each one. I want that at 0, right? And I want, that distance on the next one, that's at 0 from that back wall, okay? Right? And then you see I'm starting right there aligned, right? Now I can just go into my dimensions, right? And set them to wherever I want. So I can easily, very, very quickly lay out. I can even do break-ins, cut-ins, all kinds of great things with these tools. They're very, very simple, very easy to use. And the key to this is that everything I'm doing, I'm in my basic 2D drafting system. So I can go in and I can do things like use all of my basic setups and commands. Copy, move, paste. Let me give you an example, offset command. All right, let's say I wanted to cut out a window opening. Through here, I had like a big row of windows that I wanted to be, 2 foot off of each side. I can use the standard offset command. And I'm going to set the offset command for 2 feet. And I'm just going to offset this edge. See, it's setting it off 2 feet in. And you see it just offset the edge line so that now I've got a little, a boundary in here. Now what's great, now I can go back to the extrude command that we used to create those first walls. And you see I can just extrude and I can extrude a space. I just click in there and hit enter. And you see when I pull this way, I can pull out a section. I can make like a block. But what's great is if I go the other direction, see I can just cut out holes. I can either pull the face of this wall and extend it out, or I can just push through the other way, okay, and cut out a hole. And just like that, I can cut out window openings, door openings, whatever I need in a wall, okay? And I don't even have to do that because here inside of Bricscad BIM, wherever I have doors or windows or whatever else I might have, I can easily go in and I have a whole array of predefined components. Right? And I can add and customize those just like you would families and some of the other packages. So you see here, for example, I can go in and throw in I'll just throw in a door. And you see that the door, as I move it from wall to wall, see it adjusts and turns itself onto the wall that I'm on. And as I adjust my plane, okay, so if I go from that wall, if I wanted to go down and put one on this wall, see as I go from wall to wall, it's automatically just placing it for me wherever I need it to be. Okay, so I'm just going to go into this wall. And just like anything else, you see it's giving me my measurements, left, right, up, and down. So right now I want it to be, let's say I want it to be, 8 inches. I'm sorry, I'll put it at 1 foot, right? I want it 1 foot off, right? And I'm just gonna hit tab. And then down here at the bottom, I want it at 0, okay? And then when it's placed, I just hit enter, and there you go, just like that. I have a full 3-dimensional door. And I can go in and I can do door rotation, I can adjust door swing, okay, to different directions here. Right? Same thing, I can go back to my components, right? And I can go in and I can bring in windows, same exact way, right? So if I want to go in and put in a window, I'm going to put in a 2x1 window here, right? And again, you see I can go in and set whatever I need. Okay, I need a 3 foot from there, right? And I'm going to leave whatever that is, and from the bottom, I want to come up, 3 foot 6, okay? And there you go, just dropping windows right in. You can see it's that easy, that simple. Right? So, and again, all of this stuff can be set onto, 3D door layer, 3D windows layer, and I can isolate and turn those off and then go right back into my usual 2-dimensional layout and design, right? Which is a great, great set of tools, right? So it's got all of those structures and layouts and all of the great things that you can do, right? So that's just quick layout and design, but now I can go a step beyond that, right? And I can actually go in, right? And I can go and I can take any object that I want, right? So if I want to take this wall here, right? And you see I've got my quad tool, you see right here I can go in and if I select my wall, oops, sorry, just want to pick my wall here. Here it is. I'm on a strange angle. I'm just going to rotate that a little bit. Sorry about that. So I just want to take my wall. It's kind of catching that space behind for me, right? And what I can do, you see now my quad tool, I can go to BIM, right? And I can actually go in here, right? And I can assign components. I can classify that and say, hey, that's a wall. And once I classify that as a wall, right? Now if I just go into my base properties, because one of the keys here is being able to work in a 2D environment like that, but still be able to integrate all your BIM information. right? And you see that when you go in there and you select that wall, right, that it is a wall. I'm sorry, for some reason it's still giving me a solid face here. There we go, all right? So when I select the wall, you see that I can go in, I've got all of my BIM information, right? And it'll extract this if this is set up in the drawing, the floor, the story, the composition, the wall type, right? Room bounding, the thickness, length, materials, common walls, acoustical rating, fire rating, combustibility, right? Surface spreads, right? All the BIM information that you need can be built and modified and structured into your different component and wall types, right? So that when we do extract all that data later on for, you know, building information modeling, we actually have it. That's all fully integrated here into everything that we're doing. Okay, so it really makes it very, very easy for us to go in and modify anything using these 2D plans, right? And the next step then is, you know, after we got it done, I'm going to jump over to another drawing, right? Is, like I said, Bricscad has gone to the length of integrating full artificial intelligence structures into this, right? So simple tools like what we call BIMify, okay? So I'm actually going here and I'll use the BIMify command here, right? Right? And I can just go ahead and I can say, look, I'm going to BIMify the whole model. Right? And see all that does, if you notice, it gave me these little lines, these planes, right? It goes in and it takes your three-dimensional model and it predefines all the different planes you need. So you see as I hover over this, you see it's showing me there's the front elevation and I can extract that out to a drawing. Right? There's the left elevation. Here's the right elevation, the rear elevation. Right here I've got, if I hover over there, you see I've got the first floor and a second floor section, right? So I can easily go in and I can click on any one of these and very easily I can go in and decide whether or not I want to show and clip that display. So I'm going to clip to the second floor, right? So if I clip to the second floor display, oh, I got my my look from is off in that drawing, right? I can go to the top and there you go. Floor plans with the room information and the data already in place, okay? So again, I can go to my, you know, my front elevations, left and right elevations, right? Go back to our, let's go to an angle view here, okay? So again, if I want to go show a different setup, all right, I want to take that second floor one, right? And I'm going to go ahead and I can either leave that on or off, but I'll just turn it off, right? Go back to the full building. Now I'm going to go to the first floor, right? And I can actually just easily go ahead and clip that display. There's my first floor plan, and same thing, right? I can go back and here's my first floor plan. Right? And these can all be extracted and pulled out to you know, complete separate construction documents in and of themselves. All right, so we have that integrated, you know, ability to be able to go in and, like I said, either do the true 3D drafting, generate all of our plans, cross sections, elevations, detail views, all the things that we'd expect in a BIM structure, but still have the ability at any point to just go back into our plan view, right? Turn off, you know, those layers and go back to work on our standard construction documents. And it's all in a single DWG file. That's it. Right? It's really that simple. It's an extremely powerful system. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and jump back here, right, to demo. All right. And again, you know, the key is to, you know, why change over to Bricscad and Bricscad BIM? It's one system. It's remarkably inexpensive compared to what you're already spending on your current Autodesk licensing. It's one package. So instead of having to keep AutoCAD and AutoCAD Mechanical Overlay and Revit and all these different tools, it's one system, one package that lets you do everything you want to do in one single format. Okay, and it's sold as a perpetual license. That means that you buy the 2020 version today, you can keep working on that for the next 8 years if it does everything you need it to do. You don't have to pay that annual upgrade fee. That's an option for those of you who like paying the annual licensing for budgeting purposes and so on. Sure, Bricscad will do that for you, but primarily they tend to work with that perpetual license, and it's got a whole lot of other built-in features that go with it, right? So you got your Bricscad Classic, Pro, and you see they're all the same package. You're just adding more features as you upgrade, but it is the same software package. They're not different programs, okay? Right? And then you can get the Bricscad Ultimate, which is everything, right? So we can have everything you need, full 3D, all your BIM modeling, even to the point of mechanical for sheet metal parts, HVAC, piping work, etc., all built in, okay? All in this one single system. Right. So with that said, I did see a couple of questions come in, so I'm going to go ahead and answer. I got a question from Dean. Can you move and copy doors and windows with CAD commands? Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to jump back real quick, Dean. Let me just go back up here to my my 2D view here, see if I can find where I put those doors in. All right. So yeah, very, very easily. And that's the beauty of this, that most of your basic CAD commands, right? Unlike other systems where you really have to get into parameters and adjusting things and blah, blah, I can just go in and say, look, I need to move the window. And then when I go to move it, see, just like that. How far do you want to move it? I need to move it 3 feet that way. Okay, there you go. Right, you need to copy it? No problem. I need to copy this window. Okay, how far do you want to copy it? Right, I want to copy it over, 5 feet that way, and I'm done. So you see, I can just copy and move and put windows and things in as I need them. Okay, it's really, really easy. You're using basic 2D commands to actually direct everything that you have going on with your 3D system. So hopefully that answers that question. We have a question from Letisa. Do your engineers need to have the same program? Which is a great question. The answer is no. It is fully compatible. Like I said, anybody who's got any file that opens a DWG can automatically open this without any problems. It also has the added benefit, right? We can actually go in and using the import and export functions, right? We can actually export and import these using IFC files, right? Which are international exchange formats for BIM information. So you can pull from pretty much any program out there. You can pull from Revit to Inventor, Inventor to SolidWorks, SolidWorks to Bricscad, all back and forth using those IFC interchange files. So you can work with people who are still working in a different program, Letisa. Okay. Question from David. Does Bricscad have AutoCAD MEP features? Yes and no. It's unlike it doesn't have a full-blown MEP layout and design package built in, but it does have the full, in terms of the BIM aspect, right? It does have a full, you see up here, we got like some of the structural MEP, right? I've got some basic controls in here, right? In terms of adding, your structural components. It's really developing very heavily on the structural BIM. There are some lightweight MEP things, but one of the things that is also nice about Bricscad is that it has a full-blown, I think last count it was almost 1,000 different plugins by third-party vendors for specific items like civil and MEP and structural that you can add on directly into BIM and just have them come up as tabs up here on top. All right, so natively the full MEP system, David, no. On the BIM side, yes, you can build the three-dimensional structures for all of that very, very easily. But yeah, it doesn't have like the full sizing, database charts, et cetera, for pipes and HVAC ductwork. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. And I got one other question here from Tina. Are the 3D walls linked to the plan walls? That is a great question. And the answer is, I'm sorry to say, is no. All right, so in other words, if I go back in here, right, and if I turn off the 3D walls here, right, then if I go in, right, and I say I need to, move, I'm just going to move these walls here. This room moves over like so, right? And again, I would obviously, I'm just going to, real quick here, I'm just going to, clean this up real quick, just using basic, fill it commands. Right? I got to fill it with a radius, but good enough. You get the idea. All right, set my radius to 0 here. Just filleting my commands here. Okay. Like so. But you see that when I turn the 3D walls back on, Tina, that it doesn't move. However, it's very, very easy for me to go in and I can actually either, move and I can, drag, stretch, pull. There are all kinds of basic editing commands like we talked about before, the idea that I can, push and pull or drag any of these items, right, that I use, right, very, very easily to those new positions. But no, they are not dynamically linked. Okay. Hopefully it's something they'll do in a future setup, but for now they're kept independently, and that's intentional so that you can choose to either work or not work with the 3D or do them as completely separate options. Okay, so with that said, I can see that we are out of time, and again, I want to thank you guys. If you do have any other questions, or if you guys are interested in a more detailed demo of Bricscad or Bricscad BIM, or we've got all kinds of videos and information we can share with you guys on the entire process, just reach out to us. Either hit our website or reach us at the number, or just email sales@zentechconsultants.net. Other than that, thank you guys for spending the time today. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.